All right, thank you for tuning in. This is Ashanti Rivera here, and I am the owner of Woman's Choice Perinatal Services and the WCPS Birth Academy. If you already know anything about me, you know that I have had and continue to have a few trainings available for birth workers, from doula training to newborn care, postpartum, peer breastfeeding, placenta encapsulation, and quite a few other trainings that I've either had previously or still have. Some are being revamped, some are gone probably for good. But I wanted to do a little webinar for you guys that are potentially interested in starting your own training program. And yeah, I could charge for this, but I felt it was important for me to share at least like the foundation of the information, because I really want to see especially more Black and brown birth workers putting trainings out there. I want there to be more access for us to take trainings with people who look like us. And across the diaspora, there are so many different layers when it comes to cultures and practices. So like, let's just say, for example, even in Nigeria, there are so many different teachings and followings when it comes to religion and spiritual beliefs and birth practices and whatnot. So it's like, there are so many different things that you may know that you can teach that somebody else is not teaching. And there are so many things that people want to learn that are not readily available or as easy to find, because a lot of it is based in culture and tradition that is not just widely shared throughout your average textbooks and whatnot that you're going to find. Everybody's located in a different area, and you may want to have in-person teachings or a hybrid model. People have different teaching styles and people have different learning styles. So there needs to be more. I also am getting very tired of the fact that anytime we start seeing things about insurance coverage or certain job opportunities, even for birth workers, they often are naming the same few trainings that are the ones who are recognized as being accepted. So, you have to be trained through this particular organization for us to consider you. And we cannot take back what's ours if we don't start pouring back into our people. And I also want to say something for the people who are considering taking trainings as well, not just the people who are hosting trainings. Do your due diligence. Research people who are offering the trainings. Research and see if other people have had experience. But all training started somewhere. At one point, every training had 0 students enrolled. Somebody had to take one for the team and just sign up. I feel like, especially in our communities, we want more from our own people, but then when our own people offer more, we are skeptical. It's like a double-edged sword. I get it, but at the same time, we have to release ourselves of that. Sign up for those trainings. You see a new Black birth worker, well, not a new Black birth worker, but you see a Black birth worker hosting or offering a new training. If you're interested, sign up. Sometimes in birth work, unfortunately, you spend money and you lose money. And sometimes we lose money on our own accord. Like, we'll sign up for stuff and then, listen, I can't even tell y'all how many people I have enrolled in my trainings who like signed up and then just never finished. I'm guilty of that too. Like, I've signed up for stuff and then I was like, I bit off more than I can chew, or this doesn't interest me as much as I thought it was going to. And sometimes that's just how it is. It's like, you try something and it may not be for you. I've wasted thousands of dollars on trainings and different things that I've invested in and did not finish. So, I mean, the worst that's going to happen is you take the training and you just really didn't like it. And sometimes that kind of comes with the territory, but you have to give people a chance within reason. Like I said, vet people, find out who they are, what they're about, you know, what they've been doing, and give it a chance. Because otherwise, we're going to still continue to see these other organizations be at the top. So, yeah. All right. Now, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about imposter syndrome. We all have it. We've all experienced it. I still have my moments where I go through it with certain things. It's not a problem to have imposter syndrome, but it's a problem when you don't work through the imposter syndrome and come out of it. A lot of us are hesitant to start training programs because we go through what if nobody wants to sign up? What if somebody signs up, or if multiple people sign up and they absolutely hate it? What if people don't think I am competent enough to be teaching this course? I find that a lot of us like to say we don't care what other people think about us, but we do. We're humans. We don't want people to think anything bad about us or anything negative, or like have something not positive to say about us. We want to be liked. We want to be accepted within reason, of course, you know. If you know that you know something and you know it well enough that you feel like, yeah, I could teach somebody how to do this, and teach it. Birth work is something that has just been passed down for the longest time through personal teachings within our communities, from our elders. And, you know, there were no programs. There were no certification programs for the longest time. And birth work, when it comes to like doulas and, you know, a lot of other areas within birth work, are mostly not regulated, which means that anybody can say that they're a doula, really. Of course, there are ethical considerations and moral considerations, but aside from that, anybody could say they're a doula. And nobody can do anything about it, really. So, with that being said, if you feel like you have something to offer it. Because with birth work, and with anything really, people should be continuing to gain education over time. You don't take one training and just stop. You shouldn't, at least. And if somebody decides to do that, then that's on them. There is no one training that you can take that is going to give you everything that you need to know. Even midwives, like, you can go take a CNM program, become a certified nurse midwife, you know, and there are still other programs that are available out there that are going to teach them things that they didn't get in that one program. So just because they became a midwife, they're licensed, they're recognized in their state, they can practice legally, that still doesn't mean that they know everything. they should still consider taking other, little small programs in between and throughout the duration of their midwifery journey. There is no one training that's going to give you everything that you need. So even if you're like, yeah, but what if this is not enough? You know what? That can't be your problem. Teach what you know, and it is the other person's responsibility to go out and continue to learn more. A lot of my trainings actually encourage people to go out and take additional trainings. I'll tell people, I can't teach you everything there is to potentially know. I can teach you what I know, and I can teach you the basics and the foundation and the points that I think are really extremely important to know. But I really strongly consider, but I really urge them to take additional trainings even after they take mine. And I think that that's something that makes me a strong instructor, is knowing that even after I teach them, there's still a lot left for them to learn, and encouraging them to go out and continue to learn and not stop there. That imposter syndrome is going to really hit you hard even after you get through that first hump of the imposter syndrome of like even creating the course. Once you do that and you decide you're going to launch it, it's going to come in full force at that time. Now you're going to be sitting there waiting for people to sign up. And it's going to take a little while, usually. I mean, not always. You might have already some people who are interested. Maybe if you've been kind of talking about it a little bit beforehand, you may get some people to sign up right away. But for the most part, it's going to be a little while before people start, signing up. I remember I got my very first student for the placenta training, and I called my sister and I was like, oh shit, somebody signed up. What do I do? And, then all those thoughts are going to be coming back like, oh my God, what if they hate the course? What if it's not good? And I can't really tell you much about that. You're going to have those feelings whether I tell you shouldn't or not. So feel the feelings, but don't stay stuck in that. You just have to move on, and you have to be willing to accept criticism. I mean, if one person tells you that the course absolutely was trash, it sucked, whatever, okay, take that into consideration, but don't take it to heart just yet. Ask them why they felt that way, what areas of the training they felt really needed more, or what was wrong with it, etc. Take that information and sit it somewhere, and then get feedback from more people. Now, if multiple people are saying the same thing, you might need to go back to the drawing board. Sometimes some people just won't be happy. I still have some people who sign up for my training and they're like, I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't. I'm like, all right, well, that's cool. Everything is not for everybody. Everybody doesn't have the same learning style. Some people want more work and assignments to feel like they're doing more of something. And I'm like, I don't put fillers in my course. I give what's needed. And if you want extra stuff, I'm not making you do a book report about placenta encapsulation, because I feel like, me personally, a book report is not going to tell me that somebody knows the material. And I damn sure don't want to be reading hundreds of students' book reports. I'm not about that life. So if you want a training that's going to make you do 5 book reports and whatever else, and assignments that are I just don't feel like are really benefiting the student, then my trainings are not the trainings for you. And that's okay. Some students want that. Some students want more. And I'm like, well, yeah, my course is very minimal, straightforward, to the point, easy to understand, easy to complete. Yeah. So anyway, there will be times that people will have not so great feedback, and you just have to take that. You have to take that, because if you want to put something out there that people want, you have to listen to what the people want, and you have to find that balance between listening to what the people want and listening to their feedback, and then saying, I understand, but also this is really like my way of teaching it. So you have to be able to find that balance and find your confidence and feel confident. And this is what I'm teaching. This is how I'm teaching it. This is what really works for me. And I'm going to work to attract the students who want to learn in the way that I want to teach. So that being said, let's talk about teaching styles. Your teaching style is going to be very important when it comes to attracting students. Students always want to know before they enroll, what do I have to do? What kind of assignments are there? If you're teaching a self-paced course, you definitely want to have a variety of learning styles within the training, because just reading alone is boring for a lot of people. Some people don't want to just sit and be lectured either, listening to recordings or videos. And some people want an option to take the self-paced but still have a hybrid type of model where there's a workshop or something of the sort where they can get some hands-on skills. So think about those things. Do you want it to just be self-paced? There's no workshop included. And if so, how can you make the self-paced course more interesting? If you're creating a hybrid model, now you have to consider, how do you break this up and make it so that when you're doing the in-person portions that everybody can make time to participate? And that may mean that you may have to offer multiple workshops for all of your students to be able to find one that they can attend. So that's something to think about. If you're thinking about an in-person training now, you definitely want to include multiple learning avenues because you want to keep your students engaged. Always have some activities. People need to be able to get up and stretch and move around. So having some activities is really good. Doing some group activities where they can role play or do demonstrations if possible is really good, because it gives people an opportunity to learn how to work together with somebody else, which is often needed in birth work, being able to work alongside of somebody. Even if you're a doula and you're solo practicing, you still have to know how to work alongside of nurses. And, if you're doing hospital births and if you're doing home births, you have to learn how to work alongside of a midwife and a birth assistant and with other family members being present and whatnot. So it's good to just know how to share space. That's important. So think about your teaching style. And if you haven't taught before and you don't know what your teaching style is, think about your learning style. Your learning style is most likely your teaching style, or at least very similar to it. I personally despise readings. Like, I don't want to have to read 30 books, and I don't want to have to do 12 book reports. It just bores me. It bores me. And I don't like programs with long reading entries, and just I will get very distracted and very bored. I don't mind the readings if there's other stuff to go along with it, at least. Like, I need to be able to break from the reading and watch some videos. I need to be able to do and have hands-on skills. The reading thing is just not for me. I don't retain information well by just reading. It will go from one eye to the other and 10 minutes later you can ask me what I read and I'm be like, let me go back and look at that page again, because I will not remember most of it most of the time. It just doesn't work for me. I don't learn well that way. And so I try to limit the amount of reading that I give to my students, because hell, I don't want to write all that stuff for them to read. So I do a lot of videos for self-paced courses, because people can listen and, but then still have the reading material to fall back on as well, in addition to that, for those who do like to read. So it's all about finding that balance. If you're not teaching in a way that you enjoy, you're not going to teach it well. So you have to figure out your teaching style. All right. So let's move on to platforms. It gets a little tricky here. Finding the right platform to teach your course really is going to come down to a few things. Your teaching style is one of them. How do you want to teach? Do you want to be able to embed videos, links? Do you want to have access to reading material? Do you want your students to be able to take quizzes directly within the course? There are a lot of things to consider. Pricing, how much do you want to have to pay? For me, I will tell you my platform, I use Wix because I already use it for my website. And Wix has, at least with the premium plan, which is what I pay for, you can have classes on there. And I really like it because I'm able to manually add or remove people, create discount codes. I'm able to upload videos directly from my computer, or I can upload links from like YouTube, my YouTube channel, whatever. I can embed quizzes automatically, like they have quiz forms. You can create your own quizzes. It can automatically send out a certificate for you at the end when they complete it. I find it to be very user-friendly. And so that's the platform that I use currently. However, when I first started, I was using Google Classroom. I found Google Classroom to be, it was okay. It was pretty user-friendly. One thing that I didn't like about it was, and maybe, I don't know if maybe I could have turned it off and I just didn't know, but students would like comment on every section, and my notifications would just be going crazy. Like every time somebody commented on something, and I was like, it doesn't really require you to comment. And so I don't know, it was a little bit annoying. And, the way the invitations worked, because I wasn't charging. And so it was basically like I had to charge on my website. And then once they paid, they got a link to that Google Classroom to go in there. And so like if they shared the link with anybody else, somebody else could get in. So I would have to like pay attention to who's joining. And so I didn't really like that. Yeah. So after I was using Google Classroom, I used Teachable for a while, and Teachable was pretty good. But I didn't want to pay for a website and pay for Teachable. So I was using the little loophole, which was similar to what I was doing with the Google Classroom, where they would pay somewhere else and then they would sign up on Teachable for free. But that became a problem too, for like the same reasons. But as far as the actual platform itself was concerned, I liked how the classroom went and how you could upload your different modules and your videos and whatnot. Another one that a lot of people are using these days is Udemy. You can find a lot of classes on there and you can do videos. I haven't used it personally, but I've thought about going on there and putting my placenta training on there. I just haven't looked into it yet, but check it out. I'm going to be checking it out pretty soon, because I would like to maybe consider having my training available on different platforms where, people are looking. It's like free advertisement almost. You're on there, people are browsing, automatically signing up for a bunch of different stuff. So I will be checking that out soon, and maybe the placenta course will be on there before the year's over. Maybe. It just kind of depends on how much money they want to take from it and whatever else, because of course I know I'm going to have to pay. So yeah, platforms, look around, shop around, think about what you want to do and think about what they have to offer you as far as the platform is concerned. All right, let's talk money. Cost for value. A lot of people struggle when thinking about creating any type of offering, whether it's a training, whether it's a service. It's always like, how much should I charge for this? I don't know how much I should charge for this. Well, one thing you can do is look around. Whatever you're teaching, somebody else is teaching it. I guarantee you that. What are other people charging? And what are they offering for that price? And I would say try to find about 5 different people or companies or organizations that are teaching what it is that you want to teach, and like make comparison charts. What are they offering compared to like what you're offering? How long have they been offering their training? And, you know, how much experience do you have? I don't really care for the idea of raising prices on trainings as much as I do raising prices for services. But I do think that you can come up with a price that you think you really want to see your training being at, and saying, this is the price that it's going to be, but I'm doing an introductory price for the first certain number of people, certain amount of time, like for the first 2 weeks, for the first 6 months, whatever. My training is coming at an introductory price of XYZ. And after this date, it's going to be this much. I personally have even lowered the price of my trainings as time went on, because I'm like, I feel like I made the money that I mean, not to say I don't need to make more money, but like, I'm happy with what I've done so far, and I want to make the trainings more accessible. My self-paced courses, while they are my babies, especially my placenta course, it's not like my everyday focus anymore like it was when I first started it. So now it kind of like, it works for itself. People find out about it, they sign up, they go through the course, they have the Facebook group for student support. My students usually need very little support and guidance from me once they sign up, and then they send in their materials. I look at it, I grade it, and I certify them. And so I don't feel like I really need to charge an arm and a leg now, because it's not like the main thing that I'm doing anymore. Like I said, some years back when I created the placenta training, I created that because I wasn't in a position to where I was able to actively be at births and like be a doula like I wanted to be. So I was really doing a lot of placenta stuff, and that's how my placenta training and placenta services got really popular, was while I was having my downtime from doula work. So I'm not in that place anymore, really. And yeah, I just don't feel like I need to charge as much. So I lowered my price as time went on. But yeah, figure out, you know, what do you want to charge? And you have to think about what feels good for you. You also have to think about, okay, is this going to be my new primary stream of income? And do I need it to like pay my bills? And if so, you have to increase your value, as long as what you're offering is worth what you're charging. You know, and I know that that's what you're trying to figure out, is like, how do I know if it's worth what I'm charging? Think about it yourself. If you put a $500 price tag on that, and then you go through the training and you look at it, think to yourself, would I pay $500 for this? If I took this course, would I be happy with the fact that I paid $500 for it? So that comes back down to being honest with yourself about things. I think a good way to figure out price for value is to consider having people sign up at a super, super, super low rate in exchange for them agreeing to give their honest feedback. So when I was ready to launch the doula training, I had a few people join at a really discounted rate in exchange for them giving me feedback. And I wanted them to skim the course. Like, I wanted them to skim it and not necessarily complete it, but skim it so that they could give me the feedback like within a few weeks. And I created like a Google form and gave them a survey to fill out, and then left some space where they could actually type some information. Like, what did you feel like it was lacking? What did it need more of? Did it have too much of anything? And like I said, be ready to take that feedback. And then I asked them, okay, I know you paid a discounted price. Now that you've skimmed through the course, what do you feel you would have been willing to pay, knowing what you know now from the course? Like, and most of them gave me a price range that I was considering. Like, it fell within where I wanted to charge. So if you're not sure about how to come up with your cost for value, ask the people. Ask the people. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about is reputation building. This is going to be a huge part of getting your training out there, getting people to sign up for your training. And reputation building involves a lot of networking. It involves a lot of marketing, putting yourself out there. And I don't mean just marketing the training and putting yourself out there as far as the training is concerned, but make sure that you are marketing and putting out there what you offer, your regular work. People want to see you doing the work that you are teaching about. So I put a lot of posts out there about my placenta work and, you know, my beautiful packages that I create. And people are like, oh, wow, that's beautiful. I want to learn how to do that. There you go. You have to market yourself and, put your offerings out there. Consider showcasing your knowledge. Lots of doula groups, birth worker groups, parenting groups, whatever have you. People are looking for advice. And you got to slide yourself in there sometimes. Give advice. Obviously gentle advice. Don't be like cocky or whatever about it, but just do what you know and share information that you know. And people will start to see you. They'll start to recognize, oh yeah, she pops in here and gives a lot of good advice, or, she knows what she's talking about. And they want to come check you out. They come check your page out and they see what you're doing and what you have to offer. And they may want to come and learn more from you. Falling in line with what I mentioned about having people potentially take your course at a discounted rate in exchange for completing a survey for you, you should also ask those people and any other new students to leave you reviews. They can either email you reviews or leave you a review on your Facebook page or on your Google listing, whatever have you. But reviews really help people. When people are looking for a training and offering whatever, they want to know what other people think about it. They want to know, has anybody else taken advantage of this? Was it good? What'd you like about it? Like, is there anything I should look out for? Should I stay away from them? People want reviews. So ask for reviews. It's also important to be very available for your students. I don't mean like, 24/7 you should be available, but anybody who has taken a training with me knows communication is like my number one thing. And I am way more available than I really should be, to be honest. Like, I am glued to my phone 24/7. People have messaged me midnight and they're like, I know it's after hours, you don't have to get back to me right away. And then I respond and they're like, oh, I didn't think you were going to respond for like another 2 days. Maybe I wasn't. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't leave things sitting. And when my students need help, I want to make sure that they get the help that they need, because I don't want anybody doing anything dangerous or like, I think this is fine, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Like, no, we're not doing that. So I am very available and very accessible to my students. And that has really benefited me, because let me tell you, I sometimes am just scrolling Facebook and I see people looking for like, placenta training or whatever in birth worker groups. And my students are in there and they don't even want anything. They don't want any like ambassador or affiliate program cuts or anything, a percentage for referring a student to me. They just out there shouting me out and they're like, she's great. She always responds fast. Like she helps her students in the group and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dang, y'all really like me? It means a lot though. And that is how you build up your rapport with the community. And, just by being yourself, and hopefully yourself is a good person that is responsive. You communicate with your students and you just do your best and you be your authentic self. And I think that my students really appreciate that about me. And it shows, because honestly, even with my services these days, I don't really do a lot of advertising. I really should do a lot more of promoting and advertising for my classes and my services. But I found that building up my rapport with the community has put me in a position where I really don't have to as much. People still sign up. People still come and book with me. And they're like, oh yeah, so-and-so told me about it. Or, my doula told me about your service. Or a friend told me. Or somebody else my friend signed up for your program and, or whatever. People were talking about it in a group. And that's what you want. You want people to talk positively about you and what you're offering in rooms that you're not even in. And so you have to just continue to work. You have to show up. You have to be authentic. Be authentic and be willing to take feedback and just get out there and do it. Just get out there and do it. So I said a lot. And there's still so much more I can say. So if you want to hear more about what I could say, you have questions, I am offering you, as a viewer, a discount on my career coaching service. The career coaching service is $100 normally. And if you mention that you watched this video, you can get 50% off. Just send me a message through my website. Or if you find me on Facebook, however you find me, send me a message. Let me know that you watched this video and that you want to take advantage of the 50% off discount. I will give you a code. It will expire within a certain amount of time. So don't message me until you're ready to take advantage of the offering. The career coaching comes with a 1-hour one-on-one live video call with me. You can ask me any questions you want. It does not necessarily have to be around starting a training, but it can just be about anything business related for your birth work. You need help with creating, contracts and policies. You need help with marketing, whatever it might be. You just need advice, finding clients, what to do when you get a client, whatever. If you're not sure if I can help you with what you need, include that in your message. Let me know what you're looking for and why you would be interested in booking the career coaching service, and I can let you know if it's for you. So you get the 1 hour, and then you get email support throughout the 30-day period from the time that you pay for the career coaching. You also get access to a lot of my videos and all kinds of other amazing stuff that can help you. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and send me a message and let me help you.